because I only go to see a doctor when I think I'm just about to die, and that's just how I am. And so, I get calls all the time from my doctor's office. I'll tell you something funny, Mal. My cell phone, I hate my phone. I don't want a phone. I don't like people calling me. I let the voicemail fill up. So I don't have any voicemail on my phone. I purposely let it fill up. And I always tell people, if you want to talk to me, either email me or text me. And if I see it on my phone, you're lucky. But, I haven't seen my doctor in over a year.
I wouldn't brag about that. I wouldn't brag about that if I were you. I know a lot of people that said that to me before. They're all in cemeteries and in their graves now. And I'm serious about that. Well, let me just give you one statistic, okay? You know, heart attacks are one of the major causes of death in the United States. And of all the people that have a heart attack, 1/3 die before they get to the hospital. Another third will live but die in the hospital, and only 1/3 come out of it okay. And that's the national average of the national statistics, you know. And guys know when they've had problems because they've got a little angina and they say, well, it's a little indigestion. I don't like going to doctors, those doctors, you know. That's the worst thing you can do. It really makes absolutely no sense. The doctor does a test and you got something there, he can treat it in time. To ignore that is just, that's like saying, I'm not going to check my tire pressures because I bought these tires 5 years ago and they should be good. Doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. So I wouldn't brag about that, but whatever you do, I just wish you to be well.
Well, thank you, Mel. And, I will say this, man, I do. I like the hotter the better. I like to we talked about Jim Fix, the running guy. I think that book was called The Book of Running. But I told you I wrote a paper on that, dude. But, man, I stay about 165 pounds, and I ain't lying. I stay under at 170, and I just bust my butt outside, man. I really do hard, and I like to sweat, and just get all the poisons out of me, and then get cleaned up, and I feel like $1 million. But I don't know. Most guys die on the toilet, right? And so that's a hell of a way to go.
Well, what can I tell you? You're formed and you're concrete and you're definite and you got it right, so I can't dissuade you from that. But it does pay. I think people live much longer. I go to a doctor. I shouldn't be here now. Look, I'm going to be 81 and I'm still pretty vigorous and active in all physical types of stuff. But except mountain climbing. And if you like to sweat, wait till you get your first bout of heart failure. But it's not that you're afraid of death. I'm not afraid of death. If I'm die, I die. I'm not afraid of death. What I'm afraid of is having a stroke, and everybody should be afraid of that because you become a burden to absolutely everyone else. Your wife's got to take you to the bathroom and wipe you? That's not good. You don't want to live like that. That's worse than death. You got to make sure you're not going to have a stroke, and while you're there, let them check you for heart stuff. And you'll put an extra 5 years on your life as opposed to somebody that doesn't go. And the statistics show that people that ignore the doctor don't live as long.
Well, if I had a stroke and I know I'm in bad shape, instead of burdening everybody, I'll probably just wheel myself off of a bridge and call it a day. That's my wife. That's her mom. She had a stroke. She did. She was outside working in the yard, and it was in the evening, and she came inside and sat down, and her whole left side just locked up, you know what I mean, with whatever, and that was the end of that. And so I understand what you're saying.
You're not going to be able to get yourself on a bridge. You're not going to be able to walk across the room. You might be in a wheelchair with somebody pushing you. I don't think you're fully understanding what I'm saying. You can't take care of it after it's happened. The point is not to let it happen. You won't be able to walk at all. You get up and you'll fall down, Somebody doesn't take you to the bathroom. You just sit in a bunch of feces. It's no good. You got to go to the doctor. Anyway, think it over.
Roger that, but, I guess I'll just buy myself a really souped up electric wheelchair, man. And once you get off that bridge and you go over the edge and you hit the water, it goes, not only are you going to drown, you get electrocuted.
You won't even be able to get to operate the charger on it. Alrighty. I don't know what's going to happen, you know that, and things may go on. And you may appear to be right, but clearly the statistics show that people who see the doctor live longer. Because you find things at an earlier point in time when you can do something about them. For instance, hypertension. Most of the people that have hypertension have no symptoms for 20 years. It's an asymptomatic disease until you get to the point where you're getting into trouble. And then you start getting headaches, and you start feeling sick, and you get dizzy, and you get this and that and the other. But by that time, the hypertension has been there so long that your arteries are crap, and you can't replace all the arteries in your body. You got to do something before. All right. I feel like I'm talking to a wall, but let's stop it because it's getting too serious. I love you.
I'm with you, Mal.
Good evening, Mal.
Tell the guy he's either a lunatic or he doesn't love his family, man. I don't know.
Who's that?
November 4, Whiskey Yankee Echo.
Yourself right now, it says WZ2A. Good night.
WZ2A. I don't know. Do I know you? What's your name, sir?
Yeah, we've spoken time and time again, but haven't spoken to you in probably in a few months. Name here is Howard. We're in Palm Bay, Florida.
What's your first name?
Howard.
No, your first name. WZ2A?
Yes, and my name is Howard.
Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me the other guy's name is Howard also. All right. Well, very, very good. Well, I don't have a computer in this room, and I can't look people up. So unless you come in frequently and say hello to me and make yourself memorable. But I don't remember WZ2A. I usually remember the call letters, but not the name. Anyway, thanks for stopping in, Howard. Appreciate that. This is MC4L. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, Al. I used to talk to you quite a bit more when I was up in New York. Only down here for a couple of years now, but I don't know. Maybe it will come back sometime in the future. My brain is not that good in terms of remembering everything also. I remember stuff that happened like many years ago, but that's something about yesterday, last week, and it won't. Anyways, nice time to you as always, and to that other Howard, take care of yourself, man, and it's not just for you, it's for the rest of your family as well. Take care of yourself, it's important.
Alrighty, it is. And as far as memory goes, you just got to get a new SD card. You got to get a new disk drive. You remember things from long ago, and the reason that you remember them is they take up room in your memory bank. I mean, it's not infinite. And as you get older, there are more things that you've had, more experiences, more things that you remember, so you forget occasional things. But the difference between that and having Alzheimer's disease, which is memory problems, so Alzheimer's is far more than memory. Alzheimer's is a disorganization of your personality. You retrogress back to your childhood and into infancy, and your brain becomes squash rot. And you don't know how to figure things out. You don't know how to reason anymore. And the people that have Alzheimer's, as opposed to not having Alzheimer's, the people that don't have Alzheimer's are always worried about their memory loss because they know how important your memory is. And so they get quite concerned. Am I going to have Alzheimer's? Whereas the people that have Alzheimer's never worry about that because they don't perceive the danger of it. They don't know what's going to be happening. So if you worry about your memory, you're okay. If you're not worried about your memory, you may have Alzheimer's disease. I've practiced medicine for 30 years, and I always thought that was the situation. People get, I forgot to put the fish back in the refrigerator yesterday, and, we had telephone calls. Don't worry about it. Anyway, that's the story from down here, and nice chatting with you again.
Yeah, as always, like I said, always a pleasure, man. I don't think I'm that far gone, at least not yet. Occasionally I might do something stupid like, I'm supposed to put my phone on the rack and I put it in the refrigerator and then I'm looking for it, but I think that's a dumb thing some of us do occasionally. As long as it doesn't happen too frequently, I think